The greatest ninja alive actually had to watch her grandmother destroy their own family from the inside out in 2070. She built a haven for outcasts, but the elders of her own bloodline decided this fragile piece was entirely worthless. If this hidden clan history is real, then everything we thought we knew about the Igawa family justice is a total lie. Welcome back to the channel. Today we uncover the buried Taimanin logs, so drop a like and subscribe before we begin. This specific timeline only exists because of the massive TABA reset, creating a completely different universe for us. I kind of forgot the exact timeline branch, but Asagi takes a massive step back here to become the Academy headmistress. Koukawa Oboro actually considered Asagi a massive weirdo back in their youth, which honestly makes perfect sense to me. Because of her raw power and absolute refusal to follow traditional rules, she somehow united the Igawa and Kato clans. But that exact rebellious streak made her own grandmother, Hattori Seishu, absolutely despise her beyond all reasoning. Fast forward to the year 2068, the entire ninja world shook when the Fuuma Clan launched a massive and chaotic revolt. Asafi personally had to step into the battlefield and eliminate the main instigator, Fuuma Danjo, to halt the madness. You would think the conflict ended there, but the Igawa elders saw an opportunity to permanently erase the Fuuma Clan. Hattori Seishu actually ordered her forces to hunt down a literal 3-year-old heir named Fuuma Kotaro in the night. Kotaro somehow fled the burning Fuuma village alongside Tokiko and Nishigaiza, rushing toward the newly built Gosha. They desperately wanted to offer their unconditional surrender, hoping to save whatever remained of their broken family. Just as they reached the gates, the terrifying hound of the Igawa elders ambushed them in the dark, blocking the path. The desperate trio barely held the beast back, pushing their limits just to survive the horrifying night ambush there. Right when their strength faded, Asagi finally crashed into the scene and forced the monstrous hound to run away fast. She completely ignored the elders' cruel mandate, accepted the peace offering, and welcomed the Fuuma clan into Gosha. This single choice completely shifted the political balance, but what consequences would she face for defying her blood? By 2069, her own father became the unofficial leader of Gosha village, stepping up as the next chief after Danjo fell. Honestly, this looked like a solid era of peace, but the underlying tension within the Igawa clan was rapidly boiling. Then came the year 2070, and this is where the absolute insanity of the Igawa Revolt officially kicked into high gear. Hattori Seishu literally eliminated her own son just to seize total control, and nobody dared to question her authority. The crazed grandmother immediately targeted Asagi next, sending her loyal forces to end her granddaughter's life today. The tension was insane, because Asagi had to fight the very people who raised her, knowing negotiations were impossible. Mizuki Shiranui stepped in as an advisor, bringing crucial tactical support to help Asagi navigate this dark conflict. Igawa Senchu, Asagi's own aunt, arrogantly tried to blackmail Shiranui into staying out of the brewing clan civil war. That terrible plan backfired completely, pushing Shiranui firmly into Asagi's camp to fight against the corrupt elders. Young Yatsukuro also joined the fray, providing the needed firepower to push Senchu back to the main elder stronghold. The united Taimanin forces, including the newly loyal Fuuma and Koukawa clans, rallied behind Asagi without hesitation. I mean, it makes total sense everyone preferred Asagi over a ruthless elder who willingly destroyed her own offspring. Asagi finally tracked down the monstrous Igawa hound, confronting the terrible beast in a desperate bid to end its life. With Shiranui backing her up, Asagi unleashed her full strength and permanently vanquished the elder's favorite weapon. But the real emotional climax happened when Asagi had to physically face her grandmother, Hattori Seishu, on the field. There was no dialogue left to share, just the cold reality that one of them had to fall to secure the future of Gosha. Asagi delivered a sequence of devastating strikes, creating a fatal outcome that completely shattered Seishu's defenses. Seishu desperately used her ninja art to teleport away, but those heavy impacts guaranteed her life ended shortly after. Meanwhile, Shiranui utterly dismantled Igawa Senchu in combat, permanently disarming her and forcing a total surrender. They dragged the defeated aunt straight to Amidahara prison, officially ending the ridiculous rebellion of the old guard. You have to wonder how Asagi processed the trauma of locking up her aunt and defeating her grandmother permanently here. 3 years passed in relative silence, bringing us to the devastating Koukawa massacre in the fateful year of 2073 now. A heavily armed hit party from Tutates ambushed the independent Koukawa clan, leaving almost nothing but ash behind us. Asagi rushed to the burning compound with an older Fuuma Tokiko and Shiranui, hoping they could rescue anyone alive now. They were too late to prevent the tragedy, finding the once cowed clan utterly eradicated by the relentless enemy forces. the group fiercely engaged Cernunnos in combat, trading heavy strikes amid the ruined architecture of the Koukawa estate. Cernunnos somehow managed to escape with his life, leaving a bitter taste of incomplete justice for the furious Taimanin. But they did manage to recover young Koukawa Asuka from the wreckage, giving Asagi a glimmer of hope amidst the despair. Initially, Asagi seriously tried to raise Asuka by herself, taking on the heavy burden of a surrogate mother in secret. She eventually realized her chaotic life was too risky, leaving Asuka in the capable hands of Kuro and Murasaki Yatsu. In 2076, the fierce conflict with Oboro's clone erupted, forcing Asagi back into the role of chief commander once again. Saya unfortunately perished during this chaotic time, only to be artificially recreated later as the mysterious Saya Neo. It remains totally unconfirmed if Asagi ever actually pursued a romantic relationship with Sawaki Kyosuke in this world. Honestly, with her insane schedule running the academy, I highly doubt she had any spare time for a normal love life now. Then the year 2082 hit, marking exactly 13 years since the Fuuma Clan officially surrendered their violent crusade. Nisha Gaiza, a stubborn donjo loyalist, completely snapped and launched a desperate assassination attempt against Asagi. This foolish rebellion crashed instantly, completely thwarted by the exceptional teamwork of the current Gosha students. Fuuma Kotaro, alongside Eishu Hebiko and Uehara Shikanosuke, perfectly defended the headmistress from the sudden ambush. Gaiza and his loyal ninja troops barely managed to flee the academy grounds, vanishing into the surrounding forests. Instead of hunting them personally, Asagi saw real brilliance in Kotaro's tactical handling of the dangerous situation. She immediately assigned the young heir to lead an independent guerrilla unit to counter these lingering demonic threats. This flexible squad was specifically built to hunt down the Nisha remnants and handle off-the-books missions for Gagatusha. Asagi effectively shifted into a tactician role, handing out dangerous assignments while staying completely off the field. But never think she grew weak behind that desk, because her raw combat potential remained absolutely terrifying to behold. She engaged in a training fight against Kamimura Maika, Mizuki Yukakize, and Fuuma Kotaro, all at the exact same time. Watching her counter multiple top-tier Taimanin simultaneously really puts her legendary combat status into perspective. Later on, she personally intervened in a highly volatile situation to rescue Aishu Hebiko from Kalia's chaotic arena. Asagi simply stepped into the fighting pit, stared down the terrifying Snake Lady Kalia, and forced her to stand down. The sheer pressure radiating from Asagi was enough to resolve the situation without risking a massive casualty rate today. I find it fascinating how this universe forces Asagi to be the ultimate safety net rather than a standard frontline hero. She holds the entire structure of Gagatusha Academy together, knowing more dark secrets than she ever reveals to her allies. Honestly, keeping Kotaro close after her family tried to eliminate him as a toddler is a crazy psychological power move. It shows she values peace over the traditional grudges that historically destroyed the ninja clans from the inside out. The irony here is that the biggest threat was never the demons outside, but the ambitious elders eating at her own table. By removing Hattori Seishu, Asagi didn't just save herself, she completely severed the chains of toxic ancient tradition. She built a new era where an orphan like Asuka and a former enemy like Kotaro could actually find a real place to belong. Yet she carries the heavy guilt of those she could not save in time, especially the fallen Koukawa Clan members today. Every hard decision she makes as headmistress stems directly from the trauma of watching her own family tear itself apart. She acts cold and administrative because getting emotionally attached on the battlefield only leads to devastating losses. Assigning Kotaro to the guerrilla unit was her specific way of trusting the next generation to handle the deep darkness. Even when Nisha Gaiza tried to bring back old hatred, the student she protected proved her new system actually worked. She no longer needs to draw her blade for every conflict because she successfully cultivated an army of loyal successors. But the question remains, what happens when a threat arrives that the Gagatusha students simply cannot defeat by themselves? Asagi's legacy isn't defined by the countless enemies she vanquished, but by the thriving academy she painstakingly built. She successfully transformed a fragile alliance into an impenetrable fortress that changed the Taimanin history forever. In my honest opinion, I think Asagi was just exhausted from being a living weapon for so many incredibly violent years. The real tragedy is she had to eliminate her own grandmother just to earn the basic right to protect the innocent kids. It makes you wonder if building Gagatusha was an act of hope or just a desperate coping mechanism to hide her endless guilt. Anyway, we will dive even deeper into the mysteries of the TABA reset timeline next time, so stay tuned for the truth. If you want to uncover the darkest secrets of the Taimanin universe with me, smash that subscribe button to catch it all.